We just had a great night of boxing, but today I want to focus mainly on the big event, which was Gervonta Davis taking on Frank Martin. Tank Davis once again goes out there and shows that his power is real, setting up the unexperienced Frank Martin into a knockout finish. But how exactly did we get to this point? Let's rewind a little and see how this all went down, and what could be the possible future for Gervonta Davis. This matchup was set up to see whose undefeated record would be taken away. Gervonta Davis coming in with a record of 29 wins and no losses with 27 wins by knockout. Then we have Frank Martin with a record of 18 wins, 0 losses, and 12 knockouts. Davis having more knockouts than Frank Martin has wins. At the weigh-in, many people started to call out the fact that Frank Martin did not look okay. He looked really drained in the lead up to this fight and started to make memes about it because, as you can see right here, Frank Martin's face looks very sunken in, like, somebody please give this man some water. Moving over to the main night, Frank Martin actually looked very decent considering that this is the first time he was going to fight on a big stage like this and against this caliber of opponent. Yeah, I would say Frank Martin looked very solid in the first few rounds, landing a good amount of shots on Gervonta Davis, things I wasn't really expecting, and he was using his footwork, getting out of the way, pivoting, not staying on the ropes, and getting out of the corner every time Gervonta Davis tried to get him there. Some Tank fans might have called this running, but that's the same thing Gervonta Davis was doing against Isaac Cruz. Frank Martin would also clinch anytime Gervonta Davis really tried to get close to him and land some shots. This was already working for him, like I mentioned. For the first 3 to 4 rounds, I had him up ahead, and then Gervonta Davis started to switch it up like I expected him to do so. And now every time that Frank Martin tried to get out of the way of his shots, Gervonta Davis would try and time him with an uppercut to the body, which after some time did start to land, and that eventually looked to be slowing down Frank Martin. He wasn't really that active from round 5 to round 7, which are the rounds I give to Gervonta Davis. Wasn't really using his feet to get out of the way. Now it seemed like he was starting to feel a bit of the pressure and now staying on the ropes a little bit longer than he used to, giving Gervonta more chances to land big shots. And then moving into the 8th round, Gervonta Davis doing what he did in the 2 previous rounds, managed to get Frank Martin into the corner where he started to let his hands go a little bit more, eventually landing an uppercut that Frank Martin didn't see, and then landing another left hand that basically sealed the deal and sent Frank Martin to sleep, getting himself his 30th victory and his 28th win by knockout. I'll mention once again that Frank Martin really did surprise me here with, the first few rounds boxing Gervonta Davis' head off, like leaving him marks on his face. But in the end, I knew it wasn't gonna last long because Gervonta Davis, being above these types of guys, was gonna adjust and manage to get him out of the way. But now remembering that once again he is completely out of the picture now, the question is, who is Gervonta Davis going to take on next? In the days before this fight, we were hearing things that there was talks between Tank and Loma to potentially set up something for later on this year, and although myself I'm not expecting that to happen, even though we are hearing it from Bob Arum, I would expect something from Davis, maybe taking on Isaac Cruz for a rematch for his title over there at 140. We know he'd just be Rolly Romero and he has all that hype behind him, so who knows, maybe they could set something up right after he takes care of Rayo Valenzuela in August, or maybe even a Ryan Garcia rematch, something like that. We know that Ryan Garcia yesterday, he was actually at the fight, he was walking around wearing a shirt that said "Rematch me B-word" on the back, and then in the front saying Tank's #1 fan. And then right after the fight, we saw them talking like they were friends. I'm sure Tank knows the types of numbers Ryan Garcia brings, so I wouldn't really put it past him if he were to take him on again. The thing is that Ryan Garcia really hasn't made weight at 140 in a while. Like, he missed weight for both of his last 2 fights. That guy should be at 147 or up. Maybe Ryan Garcia actually tries to go ahead and make an effort to make 140 just for that Gervonta Davis fight. But like I mentioned, I would expect something like that to happen before a Lomachenko match, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. The thing is that now it will be 7 to 8 years too late, being at 135 since 2019, and Loma literally mentioning retirement after being robbed from Undisputed versus Devin Haney. The only reason he came back was because he wanted to get a belt for his dad, and now this is the time that Gervonta Davis chooses to go after him. It's kind of crazy, not gonna lie. The thing is here now, Gervonta Davis is really starting to run out of options on who he's gonna choose next, and I'm speaking about other guys not named Shakur Stevenson, not named Devin Haney, not named Lomachenko. Frank Martin, good guy, but he is not on the top level like all these other guys. He's not on Tank's level, and I think it's time for Tank Davis to actually face somebody good. But Gervonta Davis is really gonna have to start facing some elite competition if he really wants to be considered on any non-biased pound for pound list, because right now I really couldn't tell you what he has done to get on it. Now we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. Let me know down below realistically who would be next for Gervonta Davis, and don't honestly, no, in a way, because that's 122, not 135. And anyways, be sure to stay tuned, because later on I will be breaking down David Benavidez versus Vozick and the big upset win in Matias versus Paro. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one.